Jeez, that cross-examination was garbage, in my opinion. I don't know what point he was trying to make.
Yes.
That basically this whole trial was a waste of time. Goodness. And thank y'all for sticking with us through that. That was tough.
Can we, Dr. Wolfe, go back to your power? Do you have your PowerPoint
Yes.
set up?
Your Honor, may I?
Yes.
You have that ready?
Yes.
Can you go forward, and I don't have them memorized, so bear with me. Can you go forward to test E? And I'm going to ask you a couple of quick questions.
Okay.
Okay, if you could scroll through, keep going, if you'd please, to the next slide, the next. Can you, is this a video or is this a still photograph?
It is a video.
Is this at full speed or is this slow?
This is full speed.
Okay, can you go to the next slide? Okay, go back one. This is a test at what speed?
This is the Lexus moving in reverse, contacting at 24 miles an hour.
All right, let's go ahead and play this at full speed if we could.
What's up, Right Street?
Dr. Wolfe, can you, that's awfully fast. Can you
Try
get to a point where you're moving
That
frame
was
by
super
frame
fast.
just at the point of contact?
Look at the mountains.
Am I able to display my screen without doing the... Trying to see how I can get this to work.
You got it, Dr. Wolfe. Come on, we believe in you.
If you could just move forward frame by frame rather than...
I don't know that I can in the...
Get it together, guys. Come on.
Oh, I missed it.
Okay. It may be more difficult than we thought. Let me ask you a couple of questions
Sure.
based on that. Did you review that video in slow motion as well as at full speed?
Yes, from a frame-by-frame perspective.
And in terms of a couple of different questions about that particular test, when there's impact with that right arm, what's the speed that the arm gets to upon impact?
In test E,
Right. If the car's going 24 miles an hour, what's the expected speed of the arm?
so the hand got up to a little over 24, the arm got a little over 21 miles per hour.
The debris that comes off of the taillight, the fragments, what speed would they be going at the point of impact when they crack and are released from the taillight?
At the impact speed or less.
In order to penetrate the sweatshirt and cut the arm across, would the shards have to be going faster or slower than the arm?
They would have to be going faster. If they're moving at a common velocity with the arm relative to it, they would somehow have to accelerate with more speed to catch up and go beyond the arm, essentially.
Is that physically possible?
No.
I also want to ask you about do you have in your PowerPoint the photographs of the sweatshirt at the full, what you call the full-on impact, test F, as in Foxtrot?
I don't have any of those in the PowerPoint.
Okay. The photo that you showed, if I could ask Ms. Gilman to show the same photograph that she showed earlier of the subsequent to test F, as in Foxtrot, with the holes in the sleeve,
If she can.
if she can.
Can you do that, Ms. Gilman?
Very kind.
Thank you.
Dr. Wolfe, you're shown just the left arm underneath the, whatever you call the dummy, Randy, right?
Yes.
He called him a dummy.
Did
I
Mr. Brennan show you the rest of the sweatshirt?
chill out, dude.
No.
Dang.
What did the rest of the sweatshirt look like after this full-on impact when he was launched on the asphalt?
Randy was working harder
Mangled.
than anybody.
So there was not only significant road rash to the clothing all over the torso section, the left arm, the right arm. There was holes in many different locations of various sizes. There was also just on the skin of the dummy, there was road rash on the face had been scraped. The
Dang.
torso had been scraped. So there was significant body damage to the torso as well.
Taking just the sweatshirt, separating that out. What about the bodice of the sweatshirt, the front of the sweatshirt? Were there holes and frays and damage to the front?
It was covered in all of those, yes.
What about the back of the sweatshirt? Did that also have damage?
I don't believe the back, because I think he fell onto his stomach.
What about the other arm?
Yes, both arms did.
Were the holes and frays larger than the holes, the puncture holes that you saw on John O'Keefe's sweatshirt?
Certainly larger and, again, spread out amongst the entirety of the sweatshirt, at least on the front side.
Was the damage to the sweatshirt that you saw in this experiment consistent with the damage or defects that you saw in just the right arm, those 9 puncture holes on the right arm of the sweatshirt of John O'Keefe?
No, this is distinctly road rash. There's a clear distinction between the two.
Showing, looking at this particular set of defects in the arm, is that misleading in terms of its comparison to John O'Keefe's sweatshirt?
Sustain.
How is that? What? Ah, man. Why? Why is that sustained? It's confusing, man.
Your Honor, I'm going to ask to approach very briefly on an issue we discussed earlier.
We got another sidebar. We got another sidebar, but y'all know we're gonna skip through it. That's sidebar number 8. Here we go.
May I, Your Honor?
Yes.
Hey, free Randy, man. I don't like how they're
You were
talking
asked,
about Randy
on
today.
Cross-examination about some of the work that ARCA does on behalf of private lawyers, even insurance companies, correct?
Correct.
You were not hired by an insurance company. That's not who hired you on behalf of Ms. Reed or anything like that in the initial hire, correct?
Correct. It was not an insurance company.
Thank you. A couple of more questions, if it's okay with the court, Your Honor, before we break.
Okay.
Thank you. You were asked several questions about the glass and whether or not the glass weighed in on your analysis of the damage to the rear taillight, correct?
Correct.
Did you consider that the glass on the rear bumper did not match the cocktail glass that was found close to John O'Keefe's body? Or were you aware of that?
I don't think initially I was aware that there was a difference between the glass cup that was found and the glass on the bumper.
You were asked a lot of questions about the difference in the weight of the arm, and I'm going by memory, 11.8 pounds statistically as it relates to Mr. O'Keefe versus 9.4 pounds, have I got that right?
Approximately, yes.
Okay. Are you aware that anybody has ever measured the weight of just John O'Keefe's right arm?
I'm not aware of that, no.
When you were asked questions about whether or not his arm weighed 11.8 pounds, are you aware of anybody ever weighing just his arm?
No.
What is that based on? 11.8, where did that come from?
I don't know.
Mr. Brennan mentioned the word statistic. Based on the statistics, his arm would weigh that much. Height, weight, etc.
Correct.
Does the statistic determine the actual weight of an arm?
No, not conclusive of what Mr. O'Keefe's arm weighed, no.
As you sit here, do you know whether his arm, John O'Keefe's right arm, if weighed by itself accurately, does pounds and apparently half pounds matter? If it weighed 11.8 pounds, or if it weighed 9.4 pounds, do you know?
I don't know, no.
Do you believe that your testing, the totality of your testing, was dependent upon those 2.5 pounds based on the weight of the hybrid 3, or it is the armed hybrid 3, and the statistic of 11.8 pounds.
Sustained.
In what way does that differentiation of 2.5 pounds or approximately 2.5 pounds, in what way does that make a difference in terms of your testing?
It doesn't, and that's part of the reason why we increased the speeds to almost 30 miles an hour to look at, again, when you're bringing that much more kinetic energy from the vehicle, that's going to overcome any mass that that arm has. If it, like I said, if it's a pound difference, 2 pound difference, the momentum of that vehicle moving at 30 miles an hour versus 24 miles an hour, again, kinetic energy is equal to 1/2 times the mass times the velocity squared. So even if you go up a few miles per hour, you're exponentially increasing that amount of kinetic energy from the vehicle.
You were also asked a series of questions about reducing the speed of the testing by a certain percentage. Remember those questions?
Yes.
Did that make any sense to you mathematically? Okay.
Sustained in that one.
What effect, if you could tell us? Well, let me ask it this way. Is the speed of the testing vehicle tethered in some way to the difference of that 2.5 pounds that Mr. Rennan was asking you about?
No, and again, as you saw throughout the PowerPoint, when that vehicle is coming in at 24 miles an hour, 29 miles an hour, at those speeds, that arm, when it makes contact, is going to get accelerated up to that velocity. It's just going to reach that common velocity. It's not going to, you're not going to somehow affect the vehicle speed due to that, the fact that the arm weighing 10 pounds roughly, and you've got 6,000 pounds. It's not going to somehow scrub off speed of the vehicle.
Thank you. Your Honor, at this point, I would be going through a couple of photographs and videos that might be a good place to...
Okay, I understand you said it. So we'll start today.
Wow, that's where they ended?
Right, juries. One question I have for you. So I know a long time ago we told you that Thursday would be a half a day. I'm told that we're nearing the end of this case, so I'd like you to think about whether you're able to stay all day next Thursday. Think about it over the weekend. If you've made appointments or anything like that, I'm not asking anything, but think about it, and on Monday, if you let Tony or Paul, whoever's with you Monday, if you have an issue with it, just let us know, and we'll do that.
All right, there it is, man. That's it. Finishing off the day strong. So I wonder if Karen's estimation is correct, because we haven't got into Dr. Wolfe's counterpart. So it's going to be interesting to hear from him, hopefully on Monday, maybe Tuesday. So I don't know if the defense is going to call any other witnesses after this, or if these are the last two. So we may have closing arguments on Wednesday and Thursday. We'll have to wait and see. Either way, y'all let me know what you think about this part of the redirect in the comments and in the chat.